I hate to say this, but think about it for a moment. If you disagree, feel free to share your perspective. But this is how I perceive this concept from my experiences and observations. Chivalry and chauvinism fuel one another the same way trust and loyalty fuel one another. When I say trust and loyalty fuel one another, I mean people are more loyal when you trust them more, and they're more trustworthy. They're more trusting when you are more loyal. I know it's a conundrum, but that's why I said they fuel one another. Chivalry and chauvinism, aside from the fact that they sound slightly similar in terms of the sound of the word, but people tend to say chivalry is dead, but chivalry died with chauvinistic men. A lot of chivalry is kind of a backhanded compliment in the sense that, here's an example. If a traditional man offers to be a chauffeur to a woman, the majority of traditional men aren't comfortable with women driving. So a way that you can kind of see from both sides, to some extent it's kind of toxic, but in another sense it's so basic, because the other example will make you think, oh well, yeah, I can see that. It can go both ways, because imagine a woman who doesn't trust your cooking and says, I'll cook for you because your cooking is trash. It's like, I will do this for you. That's the upfront, chivalry. But under the hood, there could be chauvinism. Now, whether it's expressed or not, that's where the acknowledgement of toxicity comes in, whether or not it's like expressed. But if it's not expressed, then you can't really tell the difference. And I'm not saying you can't tell the difference between chivalry and chauvinism. I'm saying you can't tell the difference between pure, genuine chivalry, let me just do this for you because I love you, versus let me do this for you because I don't trust you to do it, because of this stereotype. It's funny because there's this stereotype about people on the East and West Coast, is that people on the West Coast are nice, but people on the East Coast are kind. That being the example was, if you catch a flat tire, people on the West Coast will be like, oh man, that sucks. I hope someone helps you with that, and just keeps it pushing. Whereas someone on the East Coast will be like, you idiot, what were you thinking? Move over. You don't know how to, you don't know how to change a tire? So just like slandering you the whole time while they're getting it done for you. And so it's like chivalry with chauvinism under the hood. And so, like I said, a lot of traditional men were more chivalrous because they were but they viewed women slightly different. With the concept of women being so capable of everything, nobody wants to help you. I said that kind of harsh, but how do you expect someone to push you aside and insist, saying, you know what, I see that you're struggling, let me help you, if you put your all into not looking like you're struggling, telling people it's rude to assume I'm struggling, I'm not weak, I got this. Like I said, chivalry is taking matters into one's own hands to help someone. But the majority of people who did that had their reasons, whether it be out of authentic, genuine care, or it be because I don't necessarily trust you to do it yourself. And that's what I've observed. That's what I've experienced. So for now, until I have another realization or come across some other information that proves or says otherwise, that's the reality of it in my mind. I know that this is the case because the whole concept of the word mansplaining is literally a man sharing information with a woman out of the assumption that she was not aware. Where I come from, that's called teaching. But in this internet world, that's being condescending. Now, I get that there are instances where men are being condescending because they're saying, you don't know this, I know more than you, let me tell you how it is. Like I said, chauvinism. But in the case that a man is genuinely sharing some information, whether it comes off as mansplaining or not, because there's really no such thing as what sounds like mansplaining. You literally just have to start talking out of your face, and it's mansplaining if the woman gets offended. But the chivalry of sharing information may or may not have underlying reasoning and intention behind it. Like I said, he either thinks you don't know, which there's nothing wrong with assuming someone doesn't know. How are you supposed to know that someone doesn't know something unless they tell you? Or he's simply like, there really is no alternative. There's nothing wrong with assuming someone doesn't know something. People get hurt when people assume people know things. That's where you go wrong. Assuming people already know. Reiterating something, assuming someone doesn't know, it's not actually doing any harm. But people get so irritated because they treat it like you're attacking or you're insulting my intelligence, basically. But I love clarity and clarifying things. It can be annoying if you do it like several times, but I've seen people get offended by someone assuming someone doesn't know something once. First time mistake. That's crazy. That's chivalry versus chauvinism. Yeah. I thought it was something on my ear. I wasn't just playing with my ear. Anyways, that was it. That was my point. I'm gonna just stop right here because I don't want this video to be too long. But like I said, I'm not trying to start any arguments or anything. This is just my perspective from my experiences and observations. Like I said, I'm gonna keep reiterating that my experiences and observations are the main thing that I speak from. But like I said, you can share your perspective if you disagree with something, but don't do it in like a condescending manner. Like, people like to say you don't know what you're talking about and then not elaborate. Just like, if you think that I said something wrong or like made a mistake, feel free to share it, but don't be an asshole about it. But yeah, I'm gonna stop the video here. Have a beautiful night. Peace.